an arc of islands.
This is what we're reading in the Bible. The Bible says, as one of the curses, the Israelite would be scattered among all nations of people.
That's right.
And we're reading this in history book.
Right.
The Bible is the main history, but we're using historical book to prove it more.
That's right.
So we're going to see which race of people came against who and brought them to slavery. Read.
Jamaica, Haiti, Barbados, Antigua, Montague, Trinidad, among others, separated by the languages and cultures of their colonizers.
It says they were separated by what?
Separated by the languages?
Because the language that we speak today is not our language.
Right. Bring it out.
The language we speak today is the language of our oppressors.
Right. Bring it out.
The name that you have today isn't the language of your oppressors.
Right.
That's why it says we are separated. Still to this day, it keeps us separated because we are supposed to be one nation of people.
That's
you
right.
blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, you're supposed to be one race of people, one nation of people.
Right.
But because the slave masters came and colonized you and conquered you, they taught you their languages.
Right.
All right. So they separated you by names, by different races, different names of races.
Right.
And we're going to read this in this book even more. Read.
Bring it out. But joined together, nevertheless, by a common heritage. For whether French, English, Dutch,
We got it. You got to read this again. Who are they?
for whether French,
The French. The French was one of those that came and took us and scattered us and sold us in slavery. Read.
right. English,
The English. They're the one that came against us and sold us into slavery. Read.
Dutch,
The Dutch. They're the one that came against us and sold us into slavery. Read.
bring it out. Spanish,
The Spanish. You so-called natives. You so-called Latinos. The Spaniard, they came against you and took and sold you in slavery. Read.
Danish,
The Danish. The Danish. They came against us and sold us into slavery.
Bring it
What
out.
we're reading? We're reading the Bible, the curses that God put upon his people.
right,
That became our history.
right. Bring it
You
out.
blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, you are the Israelites.
That's
Who
right.
else was in this? Read.
Or laterally American. Or
The Americans. The Americans came and got us and put us into slavery.
right.
So, is it finished, Read?
The nationality of their masters have
Wait, say what again?
the nationality of their masters has made only a notional difference to the peoples of the Caribbean.
So guess what? We have the nationalities of our oppressors. We have the nationalities of our oppressor. How are we ever going to find out who we are if we call ourselves Americans?
Bring it out. Bring it out.
How are we ever going to find out who we are if we call ourselves English?
Right.
How are we going to find out who we are if we call ourselves Jamaican, Haitian? Because these are the names that the oppressors gave to us.
Bring it out.
Right. Bring it out.
So let's read the curse, Deuteronomy 28:64. So we're going to prove it again from the Bible. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
So God says he will scatter the Israelites, which are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, among all people. And we just name all these people.
That's right.
We just name all these people in history. Read.
From the one end of the earth even unto the other.
From the one end of the earth even into the other.
Bring it out.
That's why it's called the transatlantic slave trade.
it out.
Because they was trading us with all races of people.
Right.
They were selling us throughout the whole world. Read.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
And when these nations took us, they taught us of their gods. We learned their gods.
Right.
This is why we have a white Jesus today.
Right.
Because they taught us to us in slavery.
Right. Bring it out.
White Jesus is not in the Bible. The disciples never taught about a white Jesus.
Right.
That's not in the Bible.
Bring it out.
God's son is not white. All right?
Bring it out.
From the one end of the earth even to another. Wherever these nations scatter us, we worshiping their God.
Right.
Guess what? When Columbus came to the side of the earth, he came with a cross and his image of his white Jesus.
Bring it out.
All right? Spain became a Catholic in 1503, and they conquered the Indian with that religion.
Right.
They conquered the so-called Negroes with that religion. Because that was their best way to keep you docile.
Right.
They keep you as an obedient slave when they gave you this religion.
Bring it out.
Because while they're killing you, they're telling you, slave, obey your master.
Right.
So the religion that we are following today, they are the religion of our oppressors.
Right.
They are our own destruction. They keep us destroyed as a people.
Right.
Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Because our fathers never know any other gods.
Right.
Because the first commandment says, thou shalt not have any other God before me.
Right.
So we know we know that we're not supposed to serve other gods.
That's right.
But once we came to this side of the earth, once we came to America, what was the first thing they did? They taught us of a white Jesus.
Right. Bring
To
it
keep
out.
us obedient to them. And when we see each other as niggers. But when we see the so-called white man, we think of him as Jesus.
Right. Bring it out.
Jesus was a black man in the Bible.
Right.
A black Messiah. And he only coming for his so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American man.
That's right. Bring it
Only
out.
when you realize that he's your God and that you have to be obedient again and keep his commandments.
Right. Bring it out.
So how did these enemies come against us? How did the Dutch, the English, the Danish, the Americans, the Spaniard, how did they come against us? Did they take a train? Did they take a plane?
Bring it out.
What did they use to come against us? Let's see the evidence. Let's see the facts that the Bible states on what transportation these people used to come against the Israelites.
Right. Bring it
Read
out.
this, 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So God says, as a warning to the Israelites, if you don't obey my commandment, you will go back into Egypt again with ships. Now, you might get it confused because you heard Egypt. If you know history in the Bible, the Israelites as a whole never went back into Egypt, especially by the way of ships. You don't read about that. They walked into Egypt, they walked out of Egypt.
That's right.
Okay? So when he said you're going back into Egypt again, he's telling them you're going to be in the same status as it was in Egypt. You're going to that same status again, which is slavery. Let's prove it in the Bible. Read.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
What is Egypt?
Out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt is symbolic for the house of bondage. Modern day word slavery. So Egypt is synonymous for slavery.
Right.
So let's read Deuteronomy 28, 68. Let's see how these nations came against us. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So God allowed these nations to come against us with ships to carry us as slaves, to bring us and scatter us into other nations of people.
Right. Bring it out.
That's how we got to America, by way of ships. What are we reading? History from the Bible.
That's right.
Prophecy that became our history.
Right.
Because we are the Israelites.
That's right.
Moses was warning the Israelites about bad things that was going to happen to them if they did not keep God's commandments.
Right. Bring it out.
What else happened? Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
By the way whereof I spake unto you. The same way I told you that this was going to happen.
Right.
The same way I told you in the future it was going to happen to you, which is our history today. That's how it's going to happen. By way of ships. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Once you leave your homeland, Jerusalem, which is our homeland, not America. All right, Jerusalem is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American men homeland.
Right.
Yes, we do have a homeland. That's Jerusalem, but it was stolen. It was stolen from us.
Right.
It was stolen from us because we disobeyed God.
That's right.
So God says, but we're not gonna see our homeland again. Read.
That's right.
And there you shall.
And there, where's there? In America, in Dutch, in England,
Right.
in Spain,
Bring it out.
Right.
in Portugal, all right, in Jamaica, in Haiti, wherever these slave masters own, whatever land they own at that time.
Right.
And there, what's gonna happen?
Ye shall be sold unto your.
What happened to us?
Ye shall be sold.
Nigga sold to Mr. Johnson in North Carolina.
Bring it out.
What we're reading? The Bible. That's in the Bible. That's the book of Deuteronomy 28:68.
Bring it out.
That's in the Bible. That says one of the curses that God put upon these so-called black men,
Right.
Hispanic men, and Native American men, who are the Israelites.
That's right.
So he said, in there you would be sold unto your enemies, because they're not your friend. Read that again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Nigga sold to Mr. Johnson in North Carolina.
Bring it out.
We were sold in slavery. Read.
For bondmen
For slave men. Read.
and bondwomen,
And slave women. Read.
and no man shall buy you.
It says no man shall buy you. So now, once we got out those ships, once they took our children and sold them to other nations or people, what happened to us after that? Let me get verse 37. What happened to us after that? They took away your names.
There you go.
They took away your languages. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37.
Bring it out.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
So among this nation, we would become an astonishment. We would be the ones who they put in the zoo so they can laugh at.
Bring it out.
We would be the one that they would take and go do what they call gator bait.
Right.
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
We would become an astonishment. We would be so destroyed that we would have a belt on, but our pants would be below or behind.
Bring it out.
We would be the one that have our sisters and rapping about them being hoes on international television.
Right. Bring it out.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
That's what they did to us.
Right.
They destroyed us as a people.
Right.
We are now lack common sense.
Right.
We are destroyed as a people.
Bring it
Bring it
out.
out.
So we have become an astonishment among these people.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us, subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.